I think this scene works best in isolation. If I wanted to give someone a sales pitch on why Illya is a good character and not some murderous demon lolly with attachment issues, I'd show them this. It starts off with Shirou saying that he'll do whatever she asks one time, likening it to a command spell even. For some context on what I'm about to say, before this, their conversation was pretty light. Illya was just upset that Shirou didn't come to see her like he said he would. It's in that same playful tone as a good portion of the two's interactions in this route, or like the one episode in Dean's Stay Night for the anime onlys. You see, this is relevant because of those talks and the whole murder-death-kill going on during the night were kinda always divorced from each other. Hence why when Shirou says that she can use a command spell on him, Illya's sprite changes to one of slight disengagement. I'm pretty sure I harped on the sprites enough in that Heaven's Feel video from way back when, so I'll sweat the details. But I really like when Fate's Stay Night does this. The way the sprite moves slightly down, indicating that it took her aback, and then that being followed by it taking her a moment to concoct a response is just... I really appreciate it. It's taking the visual aspect of a visual novel and actually using it. Not to mention, Mai Katawaki's performance as Illya here is top-notch. You don't have to know Japanese to hear her voice switch from that laissez-faire emoto style to the more serious tone she usually has at night when the word command spell is brought up. Tangent for another video, but Mai Katawaki breathes life into this character that Nasu could never hope to accomplish on his own. She's one of my favorite seiyus, just in general. Listen to this ASMR thing she did once, and I swear I have never felt closer to enlightenment. Anyways, Illya clearly wants to keep this happy, carefree daytime and the nighttime battling antics separate. And that's made clear with this one little movement of her sprite, and of course vocal inflection. Fate's Stay Night, and by extension the rest of the visual novels Type Moon has released after, which isn't a lot, but still, accomplished something I don't think I've seen many other visual novels do. It gives its characters readable body language. It's in its infantile stages here in Stay Night, but this was the seed for the presentation in works of art like Mahoyo and Tsukiri. Those VNs are packed with stuff like this. Combine that with good music and voice acting, and I think you've got something more compelling than any medium of entertainment out there. Okay, tangents aside, after a little bit of meek questioning from Illya, she decides on what she wants Shirou to do. She just wants to go shopping with them. Once they get there and Illya dances about, Shirou begins to monologize that all of Ilya's jovialness is nothing but a ruse. She wants to be like that, but can only do so via faking it. Her time and ability to do these things genuinely was stripped of her after all, which is why I think this scene is called a cinema. Illya is an actress playing the role of a happy Yumoto to a T. It's fun for her, which is why she does it in the first place, but it's hollow, you know? She knows for a fact that she has a significantly limited lifespan to do these things, and on top of that, missed a vital window for a healthy psychological development. Nasu's works all typically involve characters who are a little damaged in the trauma department. Need look no further than this visual novel for that. Shirou and his savior complex are the driving force for everything that happens in this story. He has no self-worth and makes decisions that should get him killed instantly because of it. Good characterization. Makes him an ideal conversation partner with Illya as they can both work through their issues simultaneously as they interact. As for Illya though, I think Nasu's handling of the emoto trope is at its best here. Someone with a limited lifespan whose socialization essentially stopped at 8 years old. Of course she would act the way she does when she and Shirou first meet. Illya doesn't know how to do anything else in a positive social environment, but she is learning. Which is seen later in this route, but as for this scene, it is still an act. For the most part at least, which becomes painfully clear to our lad. Shirou wishes that he could play along with this forever and watch her truly grow into her own, but he makes it clear that he knows this is temporary. Short lifespan aside, there's the Grail War, plus he's unsure if she can actually reconcile the Kuritsugu baggage at this point, let alone if he can help her in that regard. Still though, he tries to value the moment as much as he possibly can. Once they reach the final stop though, things come to an end. Illya's happy with how the hour or so went and relinquishes her command spell, even though Shirou offers to go more places with her, which is a pretty mature move on her part and shows good character growth. I don't think Illya in the Fade route or Illya the first day they met in Heaven's Feel would do something like this, because she just wants to live up life. She recognizes now, though, that as nice as it would be to spend more time with him, 1, there's no significant amount of carefree time during the quote-unquote war they're both participating in. 2, the longer this little paradise goes on, the more evident it is that it doesn't actually exist. And 3, if Illya has learned anything since meeting Shirou, it's to enjoy the little things, like going shopping with family or enjoying some snacks or a conversation with a loved one. She recognizes that she can't rush into things headlong. They have to develop naturally over time, like she herself has over this route. After all that stuff, though, is this cute little moment where Illya opens up and is genuine to Shirou. It starts to snow and she dances around a bit in it. It's where this adorable little CG comes into play. It's no secret that Illya has had a bit of a troubled upbringing. However, she still holds those initial years dear to her heart, which I think is made crystal when she recalls how the snow reminds her of her mother and how she and Kuritsugu would play in the stuff. Also how Kuritsugu would say her hair was white like snow and fine like her mother's. It's clearly a memory she holds dear, and this marks a noticeable change in how she talks about her father. It's not all entirely negative in her mind anymore, and she's working through it. I really like this CG too. It's not as enchanting or captivating as the other Illya CGs, but it shows an actual smile on her face. She looks fragile and small, but has her arms wide open ready to start accepting things. It's a little moment, but it's a good one. In the words of my favorite band in junior year of high school, it's the little things that kill. Be that killing with kindness or killing with hatred is up to the interpreter, but all the same, little things are important. Be it moments, items, or just a feature of yourself that you like. You gotta cherish them the best you can, even if only in retrospect, because they'll add up to something big. For instance, and to tie this all up in a neat little bow, the time spent with family Illya had in her childhood and the time she spent with Shirou in Heaven's Feel both add up to make her feel loved for the first time in a long while. Really good bit of writing on Nasu's part. In a time like this within a world full of fuck, it's these little bright bundles of prose that can remind one that the world's not all entirely bad. No matter where life is or how bleak the past might have been, keeping an eye on the joy-packed and tiny parts of life is important. So keep on keeping on, find that little spark, and cherish the hell out of it.